So I found myself at a place where all I saw ahead were mountains, and immovable mountains. In 2014, God gave me a promise, and it is found in Exodus 33 verse 14. God speaking, it says, "I will personally go with you, and I will give you rest. Everything will be fine." The months thereafter, I faced some hills and valleys, hard times and difficult times, but I never knew that I would need this very promise 2 years later. On the 13th of July 2016, my life came to a standstill, and I was given the choice of either hating God or trusting in Him and believing in the promise that He had already given me. On the 13th of July, I lost the best man in my life. It was the day that my father suddenly and out of nowhere had a heart attack. The 13th of July was the very day that God called His good and faithful servant home. I remember the day as if it was yesterday, and I suppose the memory will never really fade. I remember feeling a type of pain that cannot be described but only felt through experience. But I also felt a peace that today still I cannot even fathom. The same God who gave me the promise in 2014 that He would personally go ahead of me in this journey of mine was the very same God who showed up and stood with me personally at the hospital, and He's the same God who stands by me today. Because you see, it never gets easier, it just becomes more possible to face each day. I remember one night in August, it was a prayer meeting of ours, and I was standing in worship, and I remember just crying. And in that moment, God took me from where I physically was, and He placed me almost right in front of Him. And when it was just Him and I asked Him the question, how do I carry on from here? I'm 20 years old, and I just lost my father, and I have so many moments that I have to still go through in life where I had pictured Him with me, moments where He would celebrate me and where He would cheer me on. So I found myself at a place where all I saw ahead were mountains, and immovable mountains. I would have to go through my graduation, my first job, my wedding one day, and all these other moments that you want to celebrate, and you want people who have been there for you to be there with you. So these moments became mountains that I could not move. Let me just go over here. I said to God that night, I said to Him, You are the one who moves mountains, but here I am currently facing mountains that cannot be taken away from my journey. How do I do this, God? And in the most audible way that I've ever heard God speak to me, He told me, I will not move these mountains, but I will be right beside you, climbing them. Giving me the hope that I needed in that moment, God said to me, I want you to get to those mountaintops so that you can give glory in front of an entire city of my faithfulness. So here I am today, having faced the 1 year mark mountain of losing my dad, and I can honestly say that at no point was I climbing this mountain alone. God, as He promised me, was constantly and personally climbing with me. And in these few months, I have seen and met with God in the most real way. I mean, God has given me so many revelations of who He is and who I'm meant to be on this journey. I have seen the faithfulness of God, and it has given me enough faith to keep going, to keep pressing on, and to keep climbing the mountains that I still have to face. I have many mountains that I still need to face, but I know, and I've been promised, that Jesus will personally go with me, that He will give me rest, and everything will be fine. His glory is going to be seen on every one of those mountains.